So our next wave awards go to Passaic Valley Sewage Commission, and actually they're being recognized in two categories this year. The first is best management practices, and the second is forward thinking. So I'm going to read both of those award descriptions, and then we'll hear from Tom Lotston, who is the Chief Operating Officer, John Rotolo, who is the Chief Engineer, and Dom Elefante, who is the GIS coordinator. And then we also have, who's also been involved in the GIS effort, Lou Lambie, who is a GIS engineer. This is for the Best Management Practices Award. Every day, hundreds of millions of gallons of human and industrial waste are sent through the Passaic Valley Sewage Commission's complex underground wastewater system. One of the challenges in maintaining this extensive wastewater system is that so much of the process takes place underground, out of view, and sometimes in difficult to access spaces. In an effort to make PVSC's treatment process more efficient and to continue to successfully maintain one of the oldest wastewater treatment plants in the United States, PVSC launched an Enterprise Geographic Information System, or GIS, mapping platform. Rather than simply offer a few key features on a static map, the Enterprise GIS map organizes spatially enabled layers of data into vivid, two-dimensional and three-dimensional visualization products that are available on PVSC's Enterprise GIS portal. The maps offer users access to an aerial digital representation of PVSC's robust framework of assets. The maps give the user a perspective on how pipes, equipment, and processes in various seemingly unrelated areas are linked to each other, making this complex system easier to work with and to understand, and truly making it a best management practice. The Passaic Valley Sewage Commission owns and operates one of the nation's largest wastewater treatment facilities, and recently took on the task of increasing the plant's overall wet weather treatment capacity. Studying 8 different methods, the study proved that there was no feasible alternative to both increase PVSC's wet weather capacity and maintain permit compliance without bypassing wet weather flow around secondary treatment. The innovative approach also identified process changes to sludge recycling that would benefit the facility during both dry and wet weather conditions. The secondary bypass will reduce CSOs to historically polluted waterways by approximately 1.4 billion gallons per year and support urban renewal and the pursuit of safe, fishable, swimmable water for the surrounding communities. By targeting treatment of such a large proportion of the annual CSO volume through a single solution, i.e., a secondary bypass, the overall long-term control plan costs are greatly reduced too. The facility is anticipated to be placed into operation in 2026, making this a clear example of forward thinking in the industry. So congratulations, PVSC. These are both great projects, and you're continuing your streak of winning WAVE awards, which is great. Tom, would you like to say anything?
Sure, thanks, Peggy. Passaic Valley Sewage Commission would like to thank the AEA for this WAVE award for forward thinking for the no feasibility alternative study that we undertook with Hazen and Sawyer to increase our wet weather treatment capacity. The outcome of the study, as you mentioned, was the recommendation of the construction of a secondary bypass facility and the rerouting of our sludge recycle lines. When constructed and placed into operation, the facility will allow PVSC to receive and treat up to 720 million gallons per day of wet weather flows, reducing combined sewer overflows in our sewer district. The modification of our NJIPTES permit to allow the operation of this facility required close collaboration between PVSC, Hazen and Sawyer, and the NJDEP, who I'd also like to recognize and thank. So thank you again, AEA, for this WAVE award for forward thinking.
Well, that's great. Thank you, Tom. John, would you like to say anything?
Yes, Peggy, I'd like to say something. I also would like to thank the AEA for this award of best management practices for the development of our GIS. PVSC is proud of the work that we perform at our facility, and we're happy that our hard work is recognized. And I'd like to give special acknowledgement to Dom Elefante and Lou Lambie for their hard work in developing this GIS system. As we mentioned in the award submission, is that, you know, everything in PVSC takes place out of sight, out of mind. And, you know, a lot of people don't recognize how much infrastructure is under the ground that affects everybody's life on a daily basis. So the GIS is a best management practice to help us help our communities through the development of spatial interaction with our assets so that we can put a set of eyes on something that's out of sight, out of mind.
Mhm.
I'd like to have Dom say a little bit about how him and Lou developed this GIS. So I'd like to turn it over to Dom. Thank you again, Peggy and the AEA.
Great. Go ahead, Dom.
Sure. Thank you, Peggy, and thanks again. So the PVSC GIS Enterprise, system is a 3-year project, in the making, and it continues to be integrated into 2021. Our program includes 2D, 3D maps, of our assets, on this GIS platform. Each department will have a landing page for resources that staff, would want to access and view. Having access to assets, data, and connections to various systems would allow users to access critical data at any time and anywhere. So with that being said, so this is still a system, sort of like in the making, and we continue to improve, upon this GIS enterprise.
First of all, thank you to the AEA and also to PVSC for allowing me to work on this. And I just wanted to say that, so I'm in my 33rd year in the business, right? And I've been crawling around these pipes for most of those 33 years. And as you know, succession planning and leaving a legacy behind, I feel like this project is my Post-it note to the next guy to kind of just, everything, we're documenting everything, things that I never had available to myself. And I was always digging through file drawers and saving. I once saved books that were being thrown out that were critical from a dumpster. And so I feel like this is like our way of just setting the next generation up for success. So.
Well, congratulations, Dom and Lou, on your great work, and Tom and John on both awards. And I just have to say, on the GIS one, the anything that helps people understand what is going on underground and in these facilities is just so important. So this is also something that's kind of good for all of us that you're doing that. And the other point on the other award, the ability of the DEP to work with you is something that I'm always glad to hear. And I know that we all appreciate that the DEP listens to us and tries to help find workable solutions. So I'm glad that you were able to do that for that other award. So thank you both all very much. Appreciate your spending the time with me to do this, and congratulations again. Right now, we're going to do another presentation for best management practices, and this one goes to Warren Township Sewage Authority. We have Spencer Perini, who's the executive director of the authority, and Sean Sauter from PSNS, who are here to accept the award. Over the past several years, the Warren Township Sewage Authority, led by Spencer Perini, PE, executive director, has been aggressively planning and implementing infiltration and inflow projects throughout their sewer collection systems. The goals of the program are to reduce average and peak flows to their wastewater treatment plants to ensure long-term compliance with their NJPTES permits and provide for consistent and continual capacity in their collection systems. The program ultimately achieved stated goals through the performance of flow studies in several sewer service areas, GIS mapping, locating assets, smoke testing, and CCTVing of nearly 150,000 linear feet of sewer lines. The projects helped reduce wet weather peak I&I flows and improve the overall health of the system. Thanks to this project, the average flows to the stage 1 and 2 and stage 4 wastewater treatment facilities were reduced to sustainable levels. Peak flows during storm events were substantially reduced at both plants, wherein there is no longer a sustained peak for several days after a storm event, and flows return to normal base flow within 24 hours of a storm event. These efforts earned the Warren Township Sewage Authority this WAVE Award for Best Management Practices. So congratulations, Spencer. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you so
And
much.
there's your award. Yeah, great.
I appreciate it. The only thing I'd like to say is that I&I reduction and lining is not the ultimate solution, but it is part of a holistic approach to make sure that you at least control the amount of I&I that is coming into your facilities and minimize the amount of clean water that you're treating. Obviously, it's an expensive process, but it's part of the overall approach to make sure that if you are contemplating wastewater treatment plant expansions, that you at least first try to manage the I&I and then make sure that you are able to right size the expansion of your wastewater treatment plants. So thank you very much.
Well, congratulations.
Everyone here at the Warren Township Sewage Authority, our board members, our chairman, everyone here at the authority, and also a special thanks to Sean Sauter and Jim Wancho at PS&S for all their help and support in completing this project.
So now we're going to give the Forward Thinking Award, or actually one of two awards that we're giving this year in that category. And this one is going to the Township of Ocean Sewage Authority. And Dennis Galvin, who is the chair of the Board of Commissioners, and Bill Schmeling, the executive director, are here to accept the award. So let me just describe the award for our listeners, and then we'll hear from both of you. The Township of Ocean Sewage Authority's 50-year-old offshore outfall was showing signs of significant distress, and due to aggressive marine environment, the asset was quickly reaching the end of its useful life. Also, due to the outfall's limited access along the pipeline's shore segment, nearly a mile inland, there was uncertainty if that portion was also in need of rehabilitation or some kind of replacement. Township of Ocean Sewage Authority seized the moment and undertook a project to perform an innovative condition assessment to better understand the pipeline's true condition rather than simply replace it. Ultimately, this approach determined that replacement was only required for the easternmost offshore section, which resulted in significant cost savings. Ultimately, the project was completed 3 weeks ahead of the targeted date, and the actual total project construction cost was $220,000 less than the budgeted construction cost. This forward-thinking Township of Ocean Sewage Authority project demonstrates how to combine the results of specialized investigation to develop a robust, cost-effective design that will provide many decades of reliable, safe service for a vital asset that has no backup. The project utilized the latest technologies to repair vital infrastructure for lower cost and less public disruption, minimizing land disturbance and beach impacts. So congratulations, gentlemen. Really happy to be presenting this award to you.
On behalf of the Township of Ocean Sewage Authority, I want to thank the Association of Environmental Authorities for the Forward Thinking Wave Award in recognition of our ocean outfall replacement project. As Peggy indicated, we used innovative techniques to assess the internal diameter and condition of the pipe and determined only the last 1,100 feet of the pipe in the ocean needed to be replaced. We also did hydrodynamic loading analysis as well as a diffuser analysis as part of the design. And as indicated, this project was built almost entirely on barges out in the ocean, minimizing any impact on the local residents and the beach community. This project will ensure good water quality for years to come. And as indicated, it was cost effective and completed on time and under budget. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you so much, Dennis. Bill, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I would just like to say that I think the authority is very thankful for the work that Hazen and Sawyer did in designing the project and looking at all the issues that were involved, as Dennis said, in looking at the project actually from the plant all the way out to the end of the outfall pipe. And certainly the work that Weeks Marine did in the actual construction of the outfall pipe. I mean, the authority had no issues during the entire time of the construction, and as it indicated, was under budget and under time. So not everything went well.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for participating in this WAVE presentation, and congratulations to Township of Ocean Sewage Authority.